Hey everyone, what is going on, Broncos country? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I know it's been a couple days since I've been on here, but I want to give a shout out to all the new subscribers we've had checking out the channel. It really means a lot to hit 70. We're on that way to 100. We're on that way to 7,000 with my other channel. You can find in the description David Talks Buffs if you like college football. But today we're talking about the Broncos. We're talking about what they're going to do with navigating this cap situation. Obviously, the biggest thing we need to work around is that Russell Wilson cap hit. If it's going to be 35.4 million this year and then next year as well, or are we going to bite this whole thing off 85 million this year? I don't think that's how we'll approach it. I think we'll probably split it over the next couple of years, which brings me to a popular topic of conversation. Somebody who might be a cap casualty is left tackle Garett Bolles. I'm trying to remember offhand whether it might have been a DMVR podcast I was listening to, or maybe it was Zach Seeger's. I can't remember offhand. I apologize. But they were saying last week that they don't believe Garett Bolles is going to be on the roster next year with his contract as it currently stands right now. Right now, he has a $20 million cap hit. He's either going to be extended and restructured, or he's going to be traded or cut, which I think this is kind of interesting. I think Garett Bolles, he's likely to be traded, I think, as a cap casualty rather than be cut. But if we do cut him, I touched on this on Sunday, he would save us $16 million. And for a team that right now is negative 32 right now in cap space, that is substantial. And so Garett Bolles, I still think, is an above average tackle in the NFL and definitely has a trade value for a contender. He's 32 years old right now. Still feel like he has good years ahead of him. And it's going to be interesting to see what Sean Payton does. And I think we'll know here at the start of free agency, hopefully, what the plan is with Garett Bolles. But I wanted to go ahead and show you guys this tool again from Spot Track if you haven't seen it before, so you can kind of see how I'm thinking about this, okay? And yeah, you guys should definitely use this tool if you haven't yet. But here you see Garett Bolles, 2025, cap figure, $20 million. If we release him, you see his cap hit goes from $20 million to just $4. We're able to save $16 million. You see, essentially cutting in half what this cap space figure is right now. So this could be substantial. And I'm curious to hear what you guys think because, well, let's say we trade him, to a random team, okay? Same thing. That comes off the books. We save $16 million, and then I think his cap hit just goes into the dead money or something like that. I don't know where it goes, but we still save that $16 million. But I think Garett Bolles could still be traded for like a third or fourth round pick. If we decide to retain salary, then I could definitely see us getting maybe he's our path to a second rounder. Okay. Which would be really interesting. Could Garett Bolles net us another day 2 draft pick, even if we retain a little bit of salary? Let's just say we keep that $10 million or something like that. It could be worth it in a sense. But I think if, let's say, we are going to bring on a rookie quarterback along with some sort of bridge, you could say that's Jarrett Stidham. Maybe it's somebody like Sam Darnold or Jameis Winston. Okay. But let's say we draft a quarterback at some point in the first round or sometime on day 2. This is going to be a rookie quarterback that I think would benefit from having a good offensive line, a veteran offensive line. But, is it worth moving off of Garett Bolles right now while he still has some value? And, of course, you're saving money down the line. I think how I would prefer to do this is to extend Garett Bolles a couple of years. And that way we can spread out that cap hit to future years. We won't have the Russell Wilson cap hit on the Broncos salary cap after the 2025 season. And we'll be on a rookie quarterback for our QB1, hopefully. That is my hope, at least. And so you could afford to have some more expensive guys like Garett Bolles on the roster, of course, with the salary cap continuing to expand. But let's say we do trade him. If for some reason we're not able to extend him, what do we do? Well, I think we would definitely need to go and find a free agent left tackle to play. Now, Mekhi Becton might come kind of cheap. I think he's had some below expectation years at the New York Jets and has had trouble staying healthy, but who on the Jets hasn't had an issue staying healthy. He's a guy that I feel like we could bring in if we're wanting to do this, kind of have a little bit of a stopgap left tackle, and then say maybe we used one of our picks on left tackle that eventually can be our starting left tackle later on in the year. Let's say we want to use one of our third or fourth round picks on a left tackle. From what I understand, this is a deep draft with offensive line. Or, hey, if we end up getting a second or an extra third rounder, using one of those picks on an offensive lineman that we're hoping could become, that future left tackle for us. We also have a guy like Mekhi Becton that could, I think, fill in and do a decent job. But let's go ahead and take a look at left tackle here. Seeing some of the cap figures. I guess Tyron Smith is going to be a free agent from Dallas, a little bit older. I wonder what his market value is. I haven't seen this feature used before, but you can see Garett Bolles is making significantly more than what these guys made in the past. And so, yeah, maybe there is some leverage for the Broncos to negotiate. They don't have a lot of the offensive line players that I just mentioned on here. So maybe they're listed at right tackle or something like that. Andrews Pete is another guy that I've seen brought up if we need some more interior linemen, which is interesting. And I guess he can play a little tackle, which is why he's listed on here. Trenton Brown was another guy that I've seen. Again, I'm wondering if we can sign one of these guys for under $10 million, and that would save us a lot in cap money. Now, Cameron Fleming is also a free agent, and that's something to keep note of. I hope that we bring him back, just because right now we don't have any developmental tackles on the roster of note, and we are definitely in need of having that swing tackle, that primary backup tackle position filled as well. Let's do that. I wouldn't want to move Mike McGlinchey over from right tackle to left tackle, and so that's why I feel like we should be approaching this as finding somebody who can be for us. But I think that there are some guys that have, Trenton Brown, I think, has played on both sides of the line. There's also Dwayne Brown as well. And there was one other name that I was wanting to point out here, along with Mekhi Becton, who I had on here. For some reason, he's not on this list. But I think that this is the approach that if draft capital and shedding overpriced contracts is the biggest priority this offseason for Sean Payton, I think we trade Garett Bolles and we sign one of these veteran tackles for a couple of years and see what they can do for us. So Garett Bolles, again, I feel like he has really improved in his pass blocking. But, and still, though, I mean, you don't like to see 8 penalties. It is what it is. Significantly decreased from his first few years in the NFL with 15, 14, and 17 penalties. He's had since then 7, 8, 6, 8 penalties. So he has been better. That's why I feel like if I was in control of this, you extend Garett Bolles, understand like, hey, you're not going to get paid in free agency what maybe you might think, and hopefully you can spread out that cap hit to, for future years and lower his cap hit for 2023. That's what my hope is, because I don't think I think he should be paid as a good left tackle, but not an elite left tackle, if that makes sense. So that's my hope. But I appreciate you guys coming in here and watching, whether it is live or on the replay. Would be really interested to hear your thoughts on this. But I think that Garett Bolles, again, being one of the largest contracts that we have on the roster, be keeping an eye on this and what Sean Payton and the front office decide to do with him. I think if we are going to bring in somebody like JJ McCarthy, Spencer Rattler, Michael Pratt, whatever, give him a veteran offensive line to be behind, please. I think that this was a good offensive line this past year. I don't think Russell Wilson's below average pocket presence really helped that. But you're hoping with a guy that comes in here, whoever it is, hey, maybe we're even somehow able to trade up and draft Drake May or something like that, or Jaden Daniels. You would hope that these guys would be playing on schedule a little bit more, so they're getting the ball out of their hands quicker, and this offensive line looks better. But I think the best path to good development for any of the rookie quarterbacks that we bring in is by having a veteran offensive line in front of them. So hopefully we can extend Garett Bolles, figure this thing out, and alleviate that cap hit. But as always, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would appreciate you hitting subscribe. If you want more Broncos content, it's coming your way. We're on our way to 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, everybody, go Broncos.